Hey everyone, welcome to the Clueless Sports Dad podcast, your go-to source for all things sports, minus the expertise. Get ready to embrace your inner cluelessness and join us on this wild sports journey. Let the cluelessness begin.
Hey everyone, I'm your host Eric. Today's topic, the Las Vegas Raiders Camp Preview Edition. Let's get it. Some topics we will cover today are Josh Jacobs' contract situation, Davante Adams, is Father Time catching up? Did the Raiders do enough on defense to improve this offseason? What is the offensive line going to look like? Who are these dudes? And will the draft class have an immediate impact? Let's hope. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Josh Jacobs is a great running back. 3 out of the 4 years in the league, rushed for over 1,000 yards. But NFL teams just don't value running backs like they used to, or like they value other positions. Look at Saquon Barkley. He's in the same situation. Dalvin Cook just got released by the Vikings earlier. It's clear that teams do not see the same value as running backs like they did in the past. Even McCaffrey was traded to the 49ers. Didn't want to lose him and Carr with nothing in return this offseason. Jimmy G needs a strong run game, and Jacobs can give him that presence in there. In the end, Raiders, sign the man. Davante Adams is 30 years old, but will he slow down? Has Father Time caught up? My opinion, hell no. Adams just had his second best season of his career, having over 1,500 yards receiving and 14 touchdowns. This was all done with Carr at quarterback. Adams would have had a lot more yards and probably more touchdowns if Carr would have had a better season. You Kardashians can keep that to yourself. Just turn on the game of the Steelers. Watch the film. In all, I believe Adams is going to have a great year. Even bigger one than he did last year. Second season with Josh McDaniels. Oh, yeah. The only determining factor, who's going to be the gunslinger to get it done? We shall see, but I believe Adams is going to ball out. Defense. This is an area of major concern and frustration for Raider fans. It seems like since the Madden era, since we had a great dominant defense, the Raiders had a GM linebacker, a head coach linebacker, and a defensive coordinator that was a linebacker. And the whole time they were there, the Raiders did not have a linebacking core or a great defense at that. The Raiders have had great players all over the defense at some point or another, but have never been able to bring it together. It's either been a great secondary, bad D line, or vice versa. When will they get it all together? A good secondary gives that front time to get after the quarterback, and a quick push in the pocket gives that secondary time to cover their guys. It works hand in hand. It's time to see who can really push that pocket in the middle. You've got Max Crosby, who's legit, but the second best defender is arguably Hobbs on the corner side. They need more people up there. Chandler Jones needs to really bring it this year, and the draft pick, Wilson, that's going to be fun to watch. Who's going to step up? Somebody's got to be that dude to really bring it. I was screaming for Patrick Graham to be fired quick last season, but the more and more I thought about it, the more and more I looked at the roster and what was going on this last year, I believe Gruden and Mayock really screwed it up for the future for a couple years. Their draft picks and their signings just never panned out. Most of them are either gone or just not even in the league anymore. For me, this year has to be a make or break from the defensive coordinator. It's time for the Raiders to have a playoff-style defense. Put the fear into other teams. No more smoke and mirrors, just play. Offensive line. Who are these dudes? You've got Colton Miller, absolute baller, Pro Bowl caliber type guy. Parham could use some improvement, but overall, I think he's going to be great. James at center. Hopefully this will really be his year to turn things around and be that Pro Bowl type center we all dream he can be. Bars and Illuminor, questions out. They're projected starters. Barr and Illuminor, though, need to either upgrade their game or the Raiders need to upgrade them in free agency or via trade. Outlook is simple. The O-line did great in the run game last year, giving Jacobs all the run he needed, but Carr was only sacked 27 times, so it wasn't too bad. That ranks 20th in the NFL. But with Jimmy G and his health concerns, every time he gets hit or even touched, we're going to all be grasping for air, hoping and wishing for the best from him. All in all, protection is key. Protect the man. There are really 4 guys I'm really looking forward to going into this training camp and preseason. All 4 were draft picks. Tyree Wilson, Michael Mayer, Brian Young, and Aiden O'Connell. Now, with that first-round draft pick, Wilson, okay, that was a great, epic pick. Wasn't necessarily a team need, but many times teams, as we know, don't always draft for needs. They draft for the best player, and he was the best player at that position. Tyree Wilson is going to be a fun one to watch, especially if they can get him, Max Crosby, and Jones on the field at the same time. It could be freakishly dangerous. I can't wait to see that. Now, Michael Mayer is the absolute steal of the draft pick for me, dropping down into that second round. The question will be the depth behind him and if he is the actual starter. Everything screams of a clone of Gronk with him, especially being underneath Josh McDaniels and in his offense. I could see him easily winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. Jimmy G will benefit greatly from him. Now, let's just see how great he can do out there. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish player is one to watch this offseason. Now, Byron is a man I hope truly emerges from the inside. He's a true dominant force. If he can help Crosby, Jones, and Wilson push that pocket in the middle, man, it's going to be great to see. I believe he's the man that can get it done. Now to the most intriguing piece they added in the draft class. To me, Aiden O'Connell, the Boilermaker with the coolest mustache at the quarterback position, can absolutely sling it. He is the one player on the Raiders I look forward to watching the most this preseason. It will be interesting to see where he falls on the depth chart. I am really pulling for this guy big time. If Jimmy G goes down at some point during the season, I hope he gets to go in and take those reins. All in all, I believe this draft class will have the biggest positive impact for the Raiders in many years past. Now it's up to Josh McDaniels and this staff to turn this thing around. Then this season's schedule is crazy hard. It all begins this week. Thank you all for tuning in to this episode. Make sure you guys smash that subscribe button. Leave a comment down in the comment section. Let's get this chat started. Till next time.
Thanks, everyone, for listening to this episode of Clueless Sports Dad Podcast. Tune in for more episodes by following us and subscribing. And don't forget to hit that like button.